what's up? Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Paul. So let's get down to what we got up today, and it's Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters. So, baby, the new episode 4, just dropped. And I said, baby, I just got done watching it. I said, baby. I said, baby. I said, now, when we get done with this episode, after this review, I got a couple of things I need to say about about Tyler. But remind me, y'all. But let's get down to the mess of the mess. And first, we back at the bank with y'all, and uh, 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 uh. So here we go. So we at the banquet, and it's still where we left off at. We continuing, and so Rashida husband, the pastor Jeff leaned over and told her, told her, get rid of her. You need to get rid of her. You need to get rid of her now. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting rid of her. You ain't do it now. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. She's ruined everything. She said, I am not doing that. I'm not. I'm not. Um, okay. I'm skipping ahead. I'm skipping ahead. But let me start over. So as I said, we continue where we got in because we know she just got into there. So they made her sit down. So what apparently happened was they had said so Rashida made her husband scoot down. He didn't want to move. So she said, move down. So they moved down next to her. She went, no, I want to sit next. I want to sit over there next to Franklin now. She went, no, you're not doing that. Like, she drunker than the skunk. She see Giovanni over there. She's like, ooh, hello. So she checking him out and stuff like that. And she's saying like somebody get her some coffee. Um, somebody get her some coffee. And Franklin's new wife. I love the earrings. She went, yeah, she went them with the same. She went them with the earrings that he gave me for our anniversary. You know, and stuff like that. Franklin said, just he went, don't engage, just ignore her. And so that's what the new wife did. So as that Jeff, this is when Jeff said the auction is about to begin. The auction is about to begin. So as the auction began, everybody they turned away. Oh, so now y'all gonna turn away from me while I'm talking to you? So, okay. They trying to calm her down and stuff like that. As that going on, this is when everything going on, everybody listening to the auction going on. This is where Jeffrey like, get her out here, get her out of here. I'm not doing that. Get her out of here. She's ruining everything. Get her out of here now. She said, I am not getting her out of here. I'm not doing that, not at all. And Naomi ended up asking so Naomi, while they doing that, Naomi ended up asking Giovanni, so what's your name? He went Giovanni. So, oh, she Tiffany. Girl, is you on a date? This is Geneva. Geneva was just said, no, they not date. They ain't on a date. I said, girl, I said, you a thirsty hoe. I said, I ain't never seen them. I said, girl, you thirsty as hell. I said, why you keep on talk? Why you keep sliding in there? It's like he can speak for himself. They can speak for themselves. She asked Tiffany, not you. So as that goes on, we ended up getting into to Naomi. So Naomi says, oh, so Naomi acted for the bar. She said, "Where's the bar? Where's the bar?" They went, "No, you don't need the bar." They said, "Get her some coffee." I don't want no coffee. I don't want no coffee. So they end up getting her some coffee. Some coffee. She said, "Where's Bridget?" Bridget, wait. Yeah, she went, get her some coffee. She went, make it black, girl, make it black, cause I don't want no sugar. Cause you're the only person over here, only person I know that like cream and a sugar. I said, girl. She's talking about Franklin. uh, so the auction is going on, and um, as that going on, that's when Jeff went at it again. Jeff telling her, Rashida, she went, what? He like, take her out of here. And Naomi heard him. She said, she don't gotta do nothing. She don't gotta do nothing. She went, Naomi girl, Shane girl, Shane stop. Girl, you're making it hard for me. Just Shane, don't do it, girl. Just drink your coffee. Okay. I said, baby. I said, "Oh my gosh, okay." So, during that, Giovanni ended up asking if he asked is she a member of this church, and everybody started to crackle and stuff, and she said, "No, I'm not a member of this church," and stuff. She said, "That's not me." Um, Gia ended up asking her, asking her to drink more, and asking her to drink more coffee. And as she did that, oh, my nose is getting on my nerves. As she did that, she ended up having a question for Jeff. She said, Pastor, Pastor, you do got a 300K car outside out front. She went, is that a good idea? Because there's many people that could be getting help. And I said, baby, I said, when she said that to Pastor Jeff, I said, that man was heated. He was heated because she had a point. Like, you driving a $3,000 expensive car, but you trying to raise, you got a banquet trying to raise you're trying to raise millions of dollars to build a new church. Make it make sense. He ain't like her when she called him out about that. When that happened, let me get into something. After that, this is when the right hand man, they're coming up and said, should I get the security to escort her out? And it was Rashida face looked like, huh? He went, nah, it's okay. He went, nah, right now, we just gonna see how she gonna do so far. And then after that, Franklin ended up his new wife wanted him to start maybe buy that old Bible that was up for auction. He said maybe we should buy it because she wanted to buy it for her mother, but he said maybe we should buy it for Naomi. Maybe she can use it because she usually just buys stuff. She don't buy nothing else. He went, what y'all? She went, what y'all? And he went, oh, I just told her, you don't any bad things for yourself. Gooey, Gucci, Louis. So yeah, Prada. So I get back. I said, oh my God. And as that went on, we move on to what happened after that? Okay, as I said, after that happened. Oh yeah, she says that she gave to charity. Oh, his new wife said, yeah, you gave $2 to the well fund. She went, yeah, I did. I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. After that, Giovanni ended up asking. He said, asking to him, like, it's a lot of stuff going on at this table. Mm-hmm. So Giovanni tried to switch the conversation. and tried to switch the conversation on to ask Naomi a question saying that you're a beautiful woman and stuff, and asked her would you have a problem? Don't think I'm a creep. Would you have a problem? Let me take pictures of you. I am a photographer. He went. Dabble in it. I'm not a professional, but I'm good at it. And she went, no. He went, so he went, maybe we can do a group of your friends here. She went, don't include her over there. He went out also. William vouched for him doing this and stuff, said that he'd do the good picture. And he told Tiffany, he went, I would enjoy to take pictures of you. That's also Shane. Thank you, Shane. I may take you up on that offer. And so he showed his work to him. Oh, this is really good and stuff. And so he changed the subject to get it off of the heatedness that was going on. And then they ended up switching up. This is when a new picture was brought, a new auction product was brought out, which was a painting. The painting, this is when Franklin got his tail up there, and this man was so disgusting. He got up there to tell about what this painting was, and he got up there to embarrass Naomi, not only her, but her brother. The painting was painted by her late brother. He ended up talking about he got this in the settlement of the to a wicked, nasty, evil woman whose brother was a drugged out heroin addicted user. I said, dang. He said, when he was alive, this was valued at nothing. But when he died, it went up to it's a value to 1.2 million. He said, let's start this bid off at $5. Somebody gave 5, somebody gave 10. Tiffany gave with 5,000. Then she bumped it up to 30K. So he got mad at that and ended up saying he went better yet. He said, I'm gonna give you 5 million. He said if my ex-wife wanted so badly and she cherished it so much, she would pay the 37 million that she got from me in the divorce. I said, damn. I said, this is the one. I said, he's evil. I said, he's evil as hell. So after that all happened, she ended up at that point. He comes back to the table. He said, he went. He said, he told his wife, I ain't really like him anyway. He said, I never liked him anyway. He said, if nobody else paid, if nobody else wanted, it'd just be in our garage. Be in the garage. And so after that, at that point, she drunk, she got up and she said, I'm ready. So, oh yeah, hold up. I always get caught up in this. There we go. So this is the ex-husband. That's the painting. So yeah, he did dog the hell out of her up there and her brother. But yeah. Then next, so when she got ready to get up, they said, "Oh, you ready to go?" So she said, "Yes." So her girlfriends and them got up to try to get her out of there. Her crazy self ended up throwing the hot pot of coffee on the girl. Because after she got ready to go, his new wife actually said she was ready to go. She turned her back. They was getting ready to go. She threw that hot coffee on that girl. Yeah, I did it. I said, girlfriend was on that floor. I said, woo. I said, he did that. He did that. He wanted to talk, did it, and he did it well. And he knew exactly what he was doing. He didn't care nothing about that new wife. He also said that the wife is not toxic. She don't give him no problems. I said, you's a bastard. And also, During his whole speech, uh Rashida did tell her husband Jeff, get him, stop him. He went, what? Let him finish. Let him finish. So, and I said Jeff through this whole episode, he was pathetic. It's truly pathetic. But after that happened, she's on the ground. She's on the ground in pain and everything. They had to get her girlfriends Rashida and them then got Naomi up out of there because they tried to get ambulance to her. The police was actually there, so they ended up arresting Naomi. So in the back, y'all. So this is where it go down. In the back room. Okay. Let me see if I can get this better. Or should I do? Yeah. Okay, so in the back room. Okay, so this is the guy right here, the black man right here. He is the right hand man of Jeff, the pastor. This man was so worried about the pastor, asking the pastor, is you all right? Because he got burnt by the coffee too. He's so worried about him and whatever. And the pastor, I'm good. He said, did you check on Franklin and his wife? He said, yes, they're at the hospital. He went, okay. He went, let's go. Rashida said, I am going to my friend, Naomi. He went, no, you're not. She went, yes, I am. I'm going to my friend. He went, no, you're not. We're going to the hospital. She went, no, I'm not going there. I'm going to check on my friend. That's my. So during that, Giovanni ended up saying, God, don't fight about it. I will go down to the precinct and see what's going on because she's not going to be out tonight. She probably going to be able to see a judge until the morning. So Rashida said, since there's a judge at our church, I could just call them and see what I can do. And he said, you're not doing that. She went, Jeff, who is you? So yeah. After that, Javon, he ended up coming in. He said, I got contacts too. He said, I hate you, Giovanni. She was like, no, I got this. He went, I actually got contacts. I can actually help. So no, I got this. Her husband, William, is behind her looking a little dazed, trying to figure out. I think it went over his head for a minute what just happened. And he said, okay. He went, you go ahead and go down to the precinct. Giovanni will go with you. And so during that, Tiffany said, I'm gonna go with y'all. So got that done. Then the right hand, Bridget said, William, I give you a ride. He said, thank you. So after that, the right hand man told his wife, honey, I'm going to drive the pastor home. I said it was the face for me that they gave. Everybody in the room looking at him like, what? Right there. Why would you be driving a pastor home and he got his own car? And he got his wife, who is the first lady, and a pastor herself. I said, he don't need you driving him home. So the pastor went like, I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to do that. It's okay. I'm fine. So we got Rashida up here looking like, huh? Okay. So that's what went on here. So now let's move on to the next. So here we go. Now, so we got William and Bridget. So William and Bridget are on the way. She taking him home. They're going over the events that happened. They just can't believe that Franklin did what he did up there, and coming for Naomi like that. They also can't believe that Naomi did what she did. They think that everything was crazy. Then they end up talking about her relationship, Bridget, and he brought up what happened between her that night. And she said, I like him young, and so but she went, he young, he's so immature. I don't know. He went, yeah, maybe he went, I don't know what's gonna go on between you and him, but if things don't work out between Tiffany and Javon, maybe you can maybe you can see what may happen between y'all. I said, you just pimping. I said, you just pimping your friend out. You just pimping him out left and right to all your wife homegirl. I said, please, he done had your wife already. Now he gonna end up having two of them. I said, he just pimping him out left and right, left and right. I said, damn. They talked about also. She said, yeah, y'all get ready to go to Italy. She went, I wish I could go. Y'all can take me way. He went, she said, I love the way that you love on my friend. He said, yeah, that's my soulmate. He went, that is my soulmate. I said, oh, hmm. I said, baby, I said, soulmate, I said, well, we'll see about that one. I said, is you going to forgive for the cheating? Is you going to forgive when you find out that baby ain't yours? Can you forgive? I could. Because I can tell you now, once a cheater, always a cheater. Don't roll down this road. I don't got time for it. But let's move on to the next. Next scene up, and that was this one. Okay. So they in the car. So we got Giovanni, Tiffany, and Javon. I hope I'm saying his name right. I know I'm not. But they in the car. He ended up getting in contact with one of his lawyer, one of his judge friends, and they ended up getting in contact with one of the magistrates and said that they can get her her own cognizance. I hope I'm saying the word right. I know I'm not, but that's what he can get. He can get something out. He known this person for years. He known this person for a long time, and he got his neck on the line for this. Said, is she gonna show up? And Tiffany said, she'll show up. I got this. Don't worry about it. Giovanni, she's in the car quieter than a mouse, all of a sudden. I said, girl, why is you so quiet? They all asked her why she's so quiet. Tiffany said, I thank you for what you did tonight. He went, what I do? And so they just chit-chatting back and forth. She went, you were so smooth with the photography and changing the subject. Yeah, he said, but he went, yeah, you can add Gigi over here. I got took pictures of her. And she said, I don't know where the pictures at. I don't know where they at. And it's like, then she said, yeah, I know where they at, but I just don't. I said, Tiffany, I want to see the pictures. I really want to see the pictures. I ain't trying to, girl, let's stop all this. She ain't, Naomi is in jail. She may end up doing some time. So I'm just trying to get our minds off of it. So I don't need nothing to get my mind off of anything. I said, girl, you trying to get your mind off of that. You trying to get your mind off of that man right across the girl. You fiend. I said, oh, baby. And I said, I don't know why Tiffany ain't picking it up. I said, because he playing it. He just smooth with it. It's so obvious. It don't make sense. But let's move on past that. Let's get into the scene of the scene. Now, this car scene really irked my nerves because I said, this man, Jeff, is a mother ucker because he lost his rabbit man. Because I said, this is the craziest thing about him. I got to give it to this actor. He played the hell out of this role because, baby, Pastor Jeff, he embodied this character because he's the best. Let me see where I'm at on here. Okay. Ooh, one page over. Alrighty. Jeff and Tiffany. Okay, so in this car scene, so as they driving to go to the hospital, I said this was the longest drive to that hospital. I said, where the heck was this hospital at? So she in the car crying. He want, is you crying? Where? He talking about I got burned too. You want my wife wasn't concerned about me. What? What? He said my wife wasn't concerned about me. Well, anything changed. Well, it seemed like you had somebody that was concerned about you tonight. And they looked like they was your wife. I said, I said, baby, she did. Well, excuse me, he did. It was his right hand man. He was more concerned than anybody in that room. I said he was concerned. he didn't let up. He was all here like, why don't he like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He like, what are you talking about? She's like, nothing. I see how I see the way he look at you. It's like, what? He went, well, he went, here we go. You say this about all the men at the church that they all want me. I said, oh. I said, well. I said, well, tell me a little more. So I said, like, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. I said, so, well. I said, when he said that, I said, they all want you. I said, he wants you in a way that if they all want you, but you, something say you giving it up, because the way you, that's a sad note. But, he said, you said this about the people in the church and say that. She said, I don't even know. She went, I don't know about him. When he was there with his wife, when he didn't pay, how? He didn't pay his wife no attention the whole night. He was focused on you. I said, well, he was. He was at their table. His wife was sitting somewhere else. I said, I'm confused with that one too. So as they continue on, this man ended up saying that it was your friend who threw the coffee on that poor girl. I said, poor girl. She said, what? Poor girl, are you kidding? That poor girl cheated, had an affair, and had a baby with that woman's used to be husband. I said, well, so she's not poor. She ain't a poor girl. So they going back and forth. He ended up telling her, he told her that she need to pick. She said, why aren't you still friends with her? Because she's evil, neglected, she's selfish, she's ratchet, she's a low life, everything under the sun. I said, damn, she don't believe in God. You still friend. It makes me think this starts to make me judge who you are. And she looked at him like, what? She went, okay. Right. She went, okay. Yeah. I said, this man is insane. So he judged her on the friendship with her. And then she also brought up their let me make sure because I don't want to. Okay, she brought that up. Also brought up he said that about Naomi. Then she said, I gotta go to this. Now I gotta go to this hospital and act like I like this girl. I act like I care for somebody that I do not care for. He went, well, that is what a first lady and a preacher supposed to do. I said, damn. I said these car rides with deal to be. I said it's a back and forth chess match that tennis match and chess match be going on. And it be juicy. he be tripping. He be tripping. Ah, um. Okay. What else happened here? It was something else. Okay. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, then they get into family life. She started talking about their son because their son is actually. She said you need to talk to your son about his grades because they are horrible. He went. He went. That was something that you were supposed to do. She went. Huh? She said you need to do that. It would be better off coming from you because he's out of control. He's disrespectful. He's out here hanging around potheads. You need to fix that, not me. And so, yeah, yeah, I said that was crazy. He said anything else? Saying yeah, you need to sleep with me more than just once a month. I said if he only sleeping with you just once a month, I said, girl, he gotta be sleeping with the men of the church. He got him. Cause that's what it's giving, girl. That's what it's giving. Cause he white cool. Cool. I got it. Noted. Um, anything else? He ended up saying, Sean, you think this way? He went, no, it's just sad, so Sean, so do I. He said it's sad because to he said, I don't know what to do to please. And she looked at him like, are you kidding? I, I was confused with that one. I said, huh? You don't know what to do to please? How they move from kids' situation to their personal situation. And I said, huh? You don't know what? I said, y'all been together for 20 years. I said, wait a minute. I said, girl, we would have pulled that car over. We'd have been tussling up in that piece. Because this, he didn't disrespected you so many times. He said he don't know how to please you. I said, good. I said, this man is a mess. He said, I do everything that I, he said, I do everything and I can't never make you happy. I said, you don't do nothing to make that woman happy. She said, you the one who's constantly criticizing me. Don't you constantly criticizing me? Um, don't constantly criticizing me. Don't try to turn this around on me. Just said you always do this. I'm not turning this around on you. She said you are doing that. You undermine me. You don't respect me as a wife. Overlooking me, ignoring me. I'm oh, okay. Jeff said, "Just go ahead." She went, "I have." And he said, "I got a list too." She went, well, we on mines right now. I said, "They a mess in this car." He went fine. Then keep going. So Rashida, Rashida said, "I asked you several times if Franklin was coming." He said, "I didn't find out till the last minute." She went, "Well, you still should have told me." He went, "Well, you right. Yeah, you right. I should have told you." He said, "Naomi is your friend." don't pass me. I don't think I'm saying that right. I asked you not to invite her. She's my friend. Yeah, needs who needs a professional help? I said she needs professional help, but you do too. You crazy than a mug. Also, she said, I know that. But she the one who threw the hot coffee everywhere. She said, I know that. I know it. So sure I know it. So when you continue to keep her around, she's rude, obnoxious. Oh yeah, I said all that. Oh yeah, I skipped ahead. Okay. Uh, what else was there? Cause this car ride was a long thing. What else went on in this car ride? Oh, so Jeff ended up talking to her and telling her that you can't save her. She's a lost soul. You can't save her. She went, oh, thanks for a lot for the confidence you was trying to give me and stuff. He went, she can't be saved. I said, damn. I said, damn. I said, you a pastor and you ain't even trying. It's like you more focused on her ex husband because of his money. That you will deal with him and his nastiness and whatever, but she's evil in everything under the sun, but her ex is not. Hmm. Truly noted. Truly noted. Um, After that, he ended up talking about that he feel like them arguing in the car right now mostly have to deal with their marriage, and he said things have to change, and yeah, it do. No, but it takes two. I can't sharing well. First thing you can do is be present. Duly noted. I said, oh Lord. I said, but he ain't. I said he didn't learn anything, to be honest to me, because he's a selfish bastard. I said I really don't like him, but I said the actor played this. He played this role. So now let's move on past them. Let's get into we got William. Because they part takes forever. So let's get into William. So come on. We got William. So William finally made it home. So he let Sarah the nanny go. So he ended up calling Geneva. He ended up calling Geneva, who was at the precinct. They had a little chit chat and whatever. He see what's going on. She said yes. Okay. Uh, Javon actually got in contact with one of his contacts, his judge, who's got something worked out for her and everything. So we're gonna be here until you know she released, and that won't be into the morning. I think her husband William is a teacher, a professor. I think he's a professor. That's what it gives because she told him he had class. He had to be at class in the morning, and she didn't want him to miss class. He said, "I can just wait up. I have to go. I won't have to go. I just won't go to work tomorrow." She said, "No, no, no. Go to bed because you got to be at work." He asked, "What's going?" He went, "Is Tiffany and Javon still there?" He went, "So what's going on?" She went, "Uh, uh, I don't want to speak on that." You know. He went, "All right, all right. I love you. I love you too." And he was asking. He started speaking about the dress she got on for the night banquet reminded him of their prom night. And she went, "Well, I gotta go. I gotta go." He went, "Well, I love you." She hung up. And she was walking back over there, and homegirl was madder than a skunk. I said, I ain't never seen nobody this mad. I said she was so mad to see them two all giggling and everything. I said, girl, you don't make no sense. This man is single. You married. You told him 6 years ago it's not going to be replayed again. So why is you in your feelings? But yeah, let's move on from that. Let's get into Miss Bridget. So Miss Bridget ended up making herself home herself, and excuse me, Miss Bridget finally made it home, and she with Bud. So she get in the door. Bud ended up apologizing to her about tonight and everything. He ended up telling her that the incident was on. It was recorded. It was recorded. The banquet was recorded. Somebody at the banquet recorded the banquet, and they was calling Naomi a hero for what she did. Because so apparently that whole scene of what Franklin did all the way up was all recorded. I said, "Damn." Well, so she was and stuff. He apologized. He brought out these roses. I was like, "Oh my god!" He gonna tell you how much I love you and stuff. So he went to just relax, change clothes. He went in, go upstairs, run some bath water for me, because I just gave you these nice roses. And she said, take these roses back." I said, "Girl, lose." I said, "Lose that." I said, "You get with a young, you don't get with a dummy. A man with a girl, you know better. You know better." You making me mad. Shoot. So we get to the hospital. Thank God. The driver and I said the driver is already there, which I'm so confused. Like, why is he even there? I said, you took your wife. You supposed to went home with your wife. He told you to go home with his stuff up there. So he there when they got there. Franklin came out to greet them. Franklin going off. He said, "I can't believe this bitch. This bitch did this. This bitch did that." You know. So Rashida said, "Well," Rashida said, "if y'all wasn't playing these, if you weren't taunting her, and if y'all wasn't playing these games, this wouldn't have happened and stuff." And so at that point, when so you think it's a game? Train, y'all been train, y'all been playing. That's what y'all been doing. And so at this point, he ended up asking her. She said no. She said, I don't think any of this was. Do you think this was right? What happened to my wife? She said no. It wasn't. It wasn't right. It was not right. Like, then you need to tell that bitch. You need to tell that bitch to stop. She's like, excuse me. Tell your friend to stop. I said, he went. He told, get your bitch. She said, "Bitch, what you say? What you say?" "I got your bitch." I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "Rashida about to beat that ass." Jeff like, Rashida. He's like, nah. You were first lady. I don't give a damn. And I said, "Jeff, you's a sorry excuse for a nuggle." Because I said, you allow that man to talk to your wife in that way. Because I said he was wrong for calling her out her name. And secondly, you standing there, you in your right hand man. I said, y'all both some sorry losers. And he asked, like, Franklin, like, Jeff's gonna ask, "Can I go in there and pray for your wife and stuff?" He like, "Ugh, yeah, but she ain't welcome." He like, "Well, I'm coming. Um, right hand, you can take her home." Sure, I ain't going nowhere. We leave together. And right hand, like, trying to get her. She's like, "Don't touch me." He went, right, Maurice. The right hand name is Maurice. He right hand to me. Cause they never said his name before until now. So Maurice ended up try to comfort her and whatever for now and stuff. She's sitting there mad as hell and stuff. So he goes into the room with the clown. Let's get to the next thing. Here we go. So they're in the room. She stated the new wife is sedated. She out. She has third-degree burns. I said, damn. I said, because that pot of coffee was hot, 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 hot. I said, he taught, he, well, so he was talking about, so he ended up, Jeffrey ended up praying for her. After he prayed, this is when Franklin had for him. Franklin said, well, I know you, Jeff, I have known you for years, and I know you doing this church thing. And, well, because of your wife and the way she moved, and the way she moved, her consideration of what she's doing, I ain't gonna be giving you the money. He went, I understand. But if your wife changes her mind, if she disassociate herself from Naomi, then I may reconsider. He said, if she would make different decisions and stuff like that, then, because why would she want to be around an evil person like that? I said, bitch, you the evil person, you and Jeff. Y'all evil as hell. I don't know why nobody with y'all. But, Jeff, like, I can agree with you on that and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, damn. I said, these are losers. Loser ass men. After that, Jeff tried to get his way. So Jeff trying to stay there so he can get on his way into getting that money. He said, I would love to stay and stuff. He said, nah, you need to go handle that. I said, bitch. I said, now he'd have been laying. I said, Jeff Franklin would have been laying right next to his wife on top of her. Because I said, after you said you go handle that, nah, you already called my wife a bitch. Now you calling her a that? We got problems. I said, now this is some shit. I said, so he ended up leaving. He told him I'll be here with her for any notice of any change that you have done so far. I said, you got to be out of your motherfucking mind. I said, this is losing ass shit. Losing shit. So let's move on. So they're in the car. He said, you wouldn't even leave. You couldn't even leave. He went, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. So I sure did. I can't believe you did that, and I sure did. I said, girl. I said, I love her. I said, I love because that bug was stupid. He thought she wasn't gonna do. He went, you were so rude. He was so rude. Right? It was. It's his. I was there. Girl, you was there. He said you refuse. You refuse to leave with Marcel. I think what's his name? Marcel. Marcel. I think Marcel. Whatever. The right hand man. I forgot his name again. You refuse to leave with him to go home. So, yeah, I came with you. Like I told you, I came with you. I'm gonna leave with you. After that, they ended up talking. He said, well, he went, thanks to your friend. He's the money. She went, he was never gonna give us the money anyway. She went, the whole reason he came tonight was to do what he exactly did. was to aggravate her and get her to do what she did. You like, what? What? What you talking about? Nah, that ain't what you believe. That's the problem with you. You always believe it. You always falling for this type of stuff and believing the opposite. He was never gonna give us that money. He's never gonna give the money. He wanted to aggravate her. He wanted to get her mad, and he did. And she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Plain and simple. Him and he didn't like what she said when she said that. Um, After that, he ended up. Oh yeah, he said like. Then he started to blame her and said, so I think you gonna have to come. Sure, don't blame this on me. Do not blame this on me because God always got us. Don't blame this on me. Don't think I'm about to come up with anything. No. After that, he said, "Cool, cool." He said, "We short on the down payment and stuff." And what was the next thing? Oh, okay. She's your friend. He said, "She's your friend. You let me. You let my man call." She went, okay. He went. So he goes in to tell her like she's your friend. She went, but you let this man call me out. You did nothing. I said he sure didn't, girl. He sure didn't, girl. Cause that car right there been tossed over by now. Cause I said there ain't no way in hell you would have been coming in this car. Cause you gonna let him off say that she ain't, said nothing. Um, so when they got home, this is the kicker for me. They arrive home. They get. This mother ucker got his ass out the car. He got out the car, walked his ass in the house. Wait a minute, I got it right here. I got it right here. Hold up. I got too excited. But hold up, here we go. There. He got out the car, left Rashida in that car. He got out, did come over to get her out the car. She unbuckled the seatbelt, thought he was coming out. She went and looked at the door and watched that man go in. She's sitting in a car. And she went, he didn't come in, open my door. I said, he went house. I said, girl, I would have told that car up. I said, that car would have been gone. I said, I would have told that car up. I said, that car would have been repossessed. Because I said, he lost his mind. I said, that man right there now, I said, now that's what happened. That's the end. I said, the longest thing about this, I said, these car rides, I said, the car rides between the pastors, the husband and wife, who are the pastors, be longest. They car rides, their conversation be the longest thing ever. I got like 4 pages of just them. And I got scan through it. So I know what it's about, but I'd be like, it's too much. And I'd be like, oh, if this video longer than what I thought it was going to be, it's almost an hour. I said, I didn't want this to be an hour. I'm trying to do 30 minutes. But I said it was a good episode, but I said, like, I hope this ain't always going to be like this. I said, these car rides are ridiculous. Because he is a disrespectful mother uncle. I can't stand him. I said, girl, you better tear his ish up. And he loved that 300K car. Girl, you better get into divorce. The car, the house, and the church. Leave him with nothing. And I mean nothing. All he needs is his right hand man because it seemed like something going down. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about the show. Tyler Perry, Divorce Sister, Season 1, Episode 4. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll get back at y'all later. Bye, y'all.